Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Marley, Kayden here in Chicago alongside Sam Vadas at the New York Stock Exchange. We'll close out the week with our final thoughts on the week and today's session as well. Gold prices were extremely volatile this October, but closed out with its third straight monthly gain as of the final bell today, despite closing down about 0.5%. Prices did manage to stay above that 4,000 mark to end the month, though, with total gains of just under 4%. The metal has gained 50% so far this year, hitting a record high of 43.8121 on October 20th. Now, these gains are expected to continue as well. A recent Reuters poll of analysts and traders say they expect prices to average $4,275 in 2026. That's up sharply from the $3,400 that was measured 3 months ago. We also got some stellar earnings from data storage companies this week, showing just how much of a role they're playing in the AI infrastructure build out. Seagate and Western Digital are both trading near record highs following their positive reports, having surged more than 200% each this year on the artificial intelligence boom. Both companies have sharply outperformed the broader market as the global race to scale up AI-related infrastructure heats up. Seagate and Western Digital are the second and third highest percentage gainers on the S&P 500 so far this year. Sam, really impressive performance from two companies that outside of earnings, we don't get as much attention as some of the big names.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about that memory, isn't it? And that really is helping companies like Nvidia as well. Now, that company was actually range-bound today, ending slightly lower, but there was no shortage of news this week. The company announcing deals with some of South Korea's biggest companies today during CEO Jensen Huang's visit to the country. Nvidia will be supplying now more than 260,000 accelerated chips to the South Korean government and businesses, including Samsung, there's another memory name, Hyundai and SK Group, as a part of efforts to expand globally. Now, the chips will be deployed to factories to make chips and robots in what Wedbush's tech bull, Dan Ives, is calling a watershed deal. Now, it has been, as I mentioned, a very busy week for Nvidia, of course, becoming the first company to hit a $5 trillion market cap. There's still no update on whether the Blackwell will be sold in China off the back of some suggestion from President Donald Trump earlier this week that maybe he might speak to Xi about that, but it will be the final member of the Magnificent Seven to report earnings, but we'll still have to wait, Marley, until Wednesday, November the 19th. So heading into next week, what will you be looking out for as far as those earnings?
We have so many earnings, so I'll just focus on Monday. We're going to hear from Palantir and also Hims and Hers. Palantir hit another record high today ahead of its third quarter earnings. Now, some investors are eyeing a potential stock split here, similar to what we just saw from Netflix due to its lofty valuation. Analysts expecting profit of 17 cents per share, up 68% from the year ago, on revenue of 50% increase up to $1.092 billion. Over the last 4 quarters, they saw their sales accelerate 30%, 36%, 39%, and 48%. So very impressive growth there. For Hims and Hers, their results will be particularly interesting, especially considering the numbers that Eli Lilly put up with its GLP-1 products. Wall Street expecting a year-over-year increase in earnings on higher revenue from them as well. How about you, Sam?
Yeah, well, obviously I'll be watching a couple of those earnings as well, as we were just talking to KG about. Obviously, we have around 130 companies on the S&P 500 that are going to be reporting next week. So a couple of names that are worth highlighting will be AMD, particularly off the back of the October it just had. It was up around 60% for the month after announcing that deal with OpenAI earlier in the month. And the street will be really looking out for whether booming AI infrastructure demand can actually keep that rally going. So it'll be out with its report card on Tuesday. Now, on the consumer front, we'll also hear from McDonald's on Wednesday, and that should give us a further update on the value-hungry consumer, particularly after what we heard from Chipotle earlier this week that told us that some of those consumers are actually pulling back on their purchases because of some of those economic uncertainties. So let's see if McDonald's is seeing the same trends as Chipotle and what it's been doing to actually address this. Marley, I'll send things back over to you.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting earnings season. So far, we've seen an 84% beat on EPS, but we'll see how that holds up next week. That's going to do it for us on Market on Close.